All right, guys, welcome back to the FullofBS podcast with myself and Noah.
What's going on, guys?
We're just two guys who act like we know everything, but actually don't know nothing.
But actually, we know everything.
Exactly. So, episode 8, thank you guys for being here as much as you have. We've been doing really well on all our social medias, I believe.
Yes, sir.
I want to say thank you. That's it.
Yeah, and let's roll the intro.
We are very opinionated people.
You mean we're assholes?
All right, so I guess I'll start it off. Something happened at work today. We'll just kind of run right into it right here.
You say today?
Or no, sorry, not today.
Today is Saturday, am I
Yeah,
right?
on Friday, yesterday.
Okay.
So as you might know, the Lotto Max,
Yeah.
$70 million.
Okay.
Right? That's a lot of money, right?
I would hope so.
Yeah. So we're like, whatever, we're having that classic conversation, like, oh, if you win, like, what's the first thing you would do and stuff like that, right?
Okay.
So I'm like asking this girl from work, her name's, oh, shit, I shouldn't say that, but anyways,
I don't think it really matters too much.
whatever.
You're not.
So I ask her, I'm like, what would you do with the 70 million if you won, right?
Okay.
She goes, I would invest it and keep working. I was like, are you like
Stupid?
So that's not stupid, but then I was like,
Are you fucking?
yeah, I was like, is 70 million like not enough money for you to retire? That was my next question.
Yeah.
It's like, just to see like what she would say. And she goes, no, like I would invest all of it and keep working. And I was like, how is 70, like if you think, and then I started asking people around the office, all right? I'm like, if you won $70 million, is that enough to retire? And half of them had to like think about it, and half of them said no. All right?
Are you fucking kidding me?
I was like, what are you talking about? And then it was like they were like, no, I'd keep working. And I said, that's a different question because you're young and, I understand. Like,
you're going to be bored if you
right?
don't work.
But even then, it's like you wouldn't work a 9 to 5 if you had $70 million in the bank, right?
No.
They thought I was crazy. They literally thought I was crazy because I said 70 million is way more than enough to retire.
Okay. Here's my thing, right? If I have 70 mil, like the conversation like after will be like, how much money do you think is enough to retire comfortably? But if I have $70 million at my age, you have to work. You have to. Like you're gonna be bored.
Yeah, I agree with that, but it's not the traditional 9 to 5. It'd be more like you're an investor or maybe you want to start your own business or something like that.
I was gonna say, if I had $70 million, I would make my own company and try to keep making money.
Yeah, and like you'd buy a nice house, maybe set up a nice studio and try to become like an artist or something like that, right? Like you can follow your dreams,
follow your path,
thing,
of course.
Right? So then they were saying it's not enough money. So I was like, okay, let's break it down here. Let's break it down. If you don't invest anything at all, the bank will give you 1% interest on the money that you have per year.
Okay.
If you have $70 million, and this is what I told them, if you had $70 million in the bank, every year for free,
at 1%,
you're getting $700,000. Is that not? That's like the salary of what, a top doctor in Canada? Like that's not enough? And they're like, no.
No.
Like,
Okay.
You're all insane.
I'm sorry, but you work at a marijuana company. Everyone there is smoking crack. Yeah. Okay. And let me tell you why, right? So I have this conversation with my family all the time with how do you break down the money, right? $70 million. So first things first, like especially me, I have a brother and I have my 2 parents.
Yeah, you take care of them. Easy.
Not even that. Like legitimately, I'd probably just give them each a quarter, tell them do whatever you want. Because I know they're responsible with money or whatever. So right there, I'm already like, okay, maybe not quarter, but my brother gets $5 million.
If you drop him 10 million, it's like you're still laughing and your parents are laughing.
My parents are retired. You know what I mean? Yeah. So 60 million right there. I'd buy a really nice house, right? Maybe $4 million.
Yeah, 4 or 5 million. Sure.
And also, some people think $4 or $5 million for a house is insane. In our area, the average house is 1.5 to 2.
Yeah, you're buying a nice house.
Yeah, you're buying a nice house with all the spare rooms that you need, and you renovate the shit out of it, whatever, right? You buy a summer home or like a cottage house, whatever.
Or like if you want like an apartment in Florida or something like
that.
Yeah. Right.
Right. and then you buy a couple other properties, rent it out because that's the best investment you can make. No offense. And then you have like other investments going around. But you're set for life. You have generational wealth as long as you're not a retard.
Yeah, the only way and people who do win the lottery, some of them grow broke. The reason for that is like they go and buy a $20 million private jet. They buy yachts for $20 million.
Well, they also usually get addicted to drugs.
Yeah,
that's a
something
big thing.
like that, bro. Where it's like, if you're very stupid with your money, yeah, you can. It's not enough money, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like the majority of people wouldn't do that.
Yeah. So like, if we're going like further on the breakdown, right? So I give okay, you know what? Immediate family, each person gets $5 million.
Sure.
If it's 70 million, right? Like other close family members, $500,000 each.
Yeah.
Right. And altogether, that's like all the close ones, right? So maybe the top 10. Yeah. They help everyone out. You're good. You don't have to spend any more money.
55 million. Let's say you go very generous, right?
Yeah, you don't have 50 million. We'll say, right? But then on top of that, you have your house, you have your nice car, you're set for life no matter what. You put certain money into investments, 100%. You know, just because investments, if you like invest in S&P 500, what's it called? Their returns are more than inflation, so you're making more money, right?
I mean, not now, but usually, yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, nothing now, right?
Right.
But like if inflation is 6%, they're giving you 9% back, right? Give or take.
I think it's 7% average that you get back, something like that.
Whatever.
Anyways.
But you're making more than inflation, so your money now is worth just as much in the future because even that 1%, if you're making all that money, you're still losing money in the long term because money in a year is not worth the same as it is now. That's whatever. My question, right? Without being on a budget, how much money do you think you need to retire?
Now?
Without like having to like think about what you're spending on a daily basis.
Well, it depends. If I'm investing it smartly, like I got a nice financial advisor and stuff like that.
No, I mean just straight up like just living. Like, because if we wanted to, we can retire with $1 million and budget correctly and be good for life.
If I'm not investing anything and I assume that I'll just keep it in the bank and get a 1% interest back, I would say 10 mil.
See,
right? Because then I'm getting 100,000 a year.
Yeah, what's it called? That 10 million is like, it's like you're gonna, even when you die, you're gonna have money left over no matter what. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's just in case.
And that's the thing. Like I keep the 10 mil in the bank and I would just live off the 100 grand a year.
Yeah.
That's it.
Because like theoretically, if we wanted to, we can move to somewhere buttfuck nowhere, budget correctly, and be good with $1 million, right?
But if I'm investing it smartly, I think maybe like 4 mil and you're fine.
Yeah, because that money makes money.
Right.
Like that's what I don't get with people, because I have this conversation with my family all the time of like, what would you do if you won this amount of money? Mm-hmm. Like, what if you won $500,000? What would you do with that? Or what would you do with $3 million or whatever? My brother straight up is like, buy me an apartment and I'm indebted to you for life.
For 500,000?
No. I mean like any number of money, if you can afford to buy me a place in full and put it under my name, that's all, right?
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. People are fucking like, it is fucking ridiculous because in our area, especially now, I'm afraid of what the future holds because gas right now in Canada per liter per Canadian dollar is $2.15.
It's insane,
right? And I remember doing the math when it was like $1.80, and $1.80 was like $7 per gallon, right? Just on the conversion rate, right? And $7 a gallon for them is fucked.
It is. It's still crazy.
Not to mention now to buy. I don't know if you remember when we were kids, you would go to the grocery store with your mom, you just sit in the fucking front thing. You look at the prices, a bottle of ketchup was like $1.
Yeah, right.
Now it's like $7.
It's insane.
Right? And then I was watching a TikTok, right? And there was like a farmer, and she was talking about how much money meat is going to be in the next year because like the same material that they bought for their cattle would be $20 a year ago is now like 50 to 60.
Right.
So we're fucked.
The thing is, and I've seen it online here and there, I see it starting to pop up, is a recession might be in store for our future. In the near future, maybe like 1-2 years, we might see a recession. And you can kind of see it in the stock market, at least, where
everything's going down.
S&P is down. Amazon's down like 40-50% or some shit like that. Facebook's down.
No. Amazon did a stock split.
No, but they're still down, a lot.
Okay.
All the big tech companies are down, even though like they're not necessarily losing money, or like they're their gains are not slimming. It's more like people are just panicking, COVID, and then the Ukraine Russia thing.
Everyone's buying a fucking carload of toilet paper.
So the thing is, with a recession, it is a terrible thing, and a lot of people are going to lose money. But at the end of the day, it's something that a market kind of needs every 20 to 30 years. Like, it's kind of like a reset if you think about it.
The thing is, we were in a mini recession when we were becoming adults. Like, when we were 16 starting to drive, gas was, at one point, I swear to God, 63 cents.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like showing that there was a recession coming or whatever. And I don't remember if it actually really hit, but you can always calculate for these things, right?
Right.
And I think part of the issue, honest to God, and I whatever, is because of fucking our drama teacher of a fucking prime minister. Like, the easiest thing that he could do right now, just to make gas not $2.15, gonna probably be $2.50 in like a few months.
Insane.
Just allow the oil sands to fucking drill more oil, because he's like, it's bad for the environment, so why are we doing it? I'm like, bro, bad for the environment? $2.50 for gas.
Or hammer down on the laws for electric vehicles. Like, for example, I was just curious on the other day how much Toyota makes in a quarter. Any guesses?
Like right now?
Yeah. How much they make in a quarter?
I would have
3 months.
I would have no clue.
$8 trillion they made in 3 months. In a quarter.
In gross revenue.
Yeah. So people look at like Tesla.
Hold up. Trillion.
Trillion with a T.
My guy.
Yeah.
Apple's is not even worth.
Yeah, they're a humongous company, right? And you're telling me they can't get like electric vehicles on the road?
Can I ask you what the net revenue is? Do you know?
Sorry, that was the revenue. I think that
was not net revenue. That's not possible. That's physically not possible.
Their net revenue was $8 trillion.
No.
How much money they made was $8 trillion, and then profit was like $1 trillion or something like that.
There's no way, because then they'd be worth more than Apple. I don't believe that.
Okay, let's pause it and look it up.
Pause it, look it up. Okay, so we just looked it up. So revenue for Toyota was $8.1 trillion in the last quarter, being January 2022 to March 2022. But the net income was $0.5 trillion because their cost of revenue was $6.7 trillion on top of other.
It's still insane numbers, right?
Yeah. So yeah, $8 trillion with a $500 million fucking actual net income. That's fucked up.
Yeah. So anyways, my point is, if gas is getting out of hand, maybe like hammer down a little bit on the electric vehicles kind of thing. But I'm going to say this, where I saw Trudeau was talking about, I saw some clip, he was talking about the housing market. And
was he in blackface at that time?
No.
You sure?
Yeah. One of the guys asked him a question. My son has like a good, well-paying job, and he laughs at the idea of buying a house anytime soon, right?
Yeah.
How do you deal with that? That's what he asked Trudeau. I hated Trudeau's answer. You know what he said? He said, well, he blamed the people who build houses, which is fine. Like, I understand they're slow at building, and it like took them like 3 years to build bus stops or whatever.
Okay.
Some shit like that. But he basically took all the blame off of himself. He's like, well, to be honest, the construction people, they haven't kept up with demand, and anybody that tells you anything different is lying to you, and that's what it's going to be.
It's a very Trudeau answer.
Yeah, I was like, that's such bullshit, bro. Like, fucking take some blame onto yourself. And I understand that the construction people are slow or whatever, but I look at any problem like there's a solution. He gave no answer to a solution.
Well, here's the thing, right? Because if you want to move the conversation a little bit, the government construction is the worst I've ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're in Toronto, you know the joke about Eglinton.
Yeah.
Was it Eglinton? The roadwork's been there for fucking 20 fucking years?
Yeah, Bathurst and Eglinton?
No, just Eglinton, the street itself. It's been under construction for years with no movement. You know why? Because you have 50 government contracted workers on site, and out of the 50, 4 of them are working, and 2 of those workers are just holding up the stop sign. The fucking stop, slow, stop, while 2 guys are actually doing it something.
Because the problem is they get paid. I don't think it's a contract work. I think it's
no, you just work for the government. Like,
yeah, I think it's like you get paid more or less hourly or that you say like, okay, this is the amount of time that it's going to take us, so pay us accordingly, even though it may only take like 3 months. They say like, oh, it's going to take us 6 months, so they can work not as hard or whatever.
Yeah, but I don't know. The thing is, like, when it comes to construction, at the very least, the issue. We'll talk about we'll say road work, right? Because I don't know enough about houses. Actually, here, the thing with houses is that we have so much foreign investment. People want to move to Canada, right? So that's what the demand's coming from. But it's not the fact that these guys aren't building houses like quick enough. It takes a long time to fucking go through all the permits and all the inspections and actually getting the all that stuff takes a long time. Like the house that I moved into, the one that on the same street as you. Mm-hmm. Like they were like a year and a half behind schedule, but it took them like 3 years to build a house, and it's a really big house. Right. But that like I can understand why, because I've worked in a similar industry. Mm-hmm. Right. But when it comes to like road work and like the government like contract, I'm saying contract like you just work for the government, like they make mistakes on purpose because they're the people that are building the roads are the same ones that are repairing them. Right. And they make so much money just off repairing them. Right. So they don't mind making mistakes. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? There is that issue.
The thing, like at the end of the day, though, like a recession, it's a terrible thing. But like I saw this TikTok where, a house on one street sold for 1.1 million, like 3 months ago, and then a house literally 2 doors down sold for 800,000 3 months later. So, not complaining there.
That could also just be the house is just not as good.
No, it was actually that the house that sold for less was better because it was a corner unit of a townhouse, right? So you didn't have a neighbor on one side, and you can go through the backyard. And then the one that sold for 1.1 was like in the middle.
Okay.
So,
I mean,
I'm not complaining in the housing market.
What's really funny is that like a few months ago, like while I was still in school and we were like about to go on vacation, you were telling me that one of our friends is like hoping for a fucking Great Depression so that we can afford a house. Yeah. And you were
so fucked.
And you were like calling her, like you were like saying, oh, it's fucking crazy that she thinks that way. And now literally all of our friends say that and we agree.
No, it's not that I agree. Like I do think it's still a bad thing. If the markets were up and everything's going up, that's another way that you can make lots of money, right? She was just kind of you shouldn't hope for a Great Depression, bro. Like so many people lost their jobs, became homeless, couldn't afford food, right?
You literally couldn't afford a loaf of bread because it was $20. Let's say.
So that's I wouldn't wish that upon anybody, but
it does have something to say, right?
Like I said, it's a reset, which is like some things come back to reality. Maybe housing comes back to reality, for example, but people are still losing lots of money.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know, like the way I think about it especially is like, so we like in Canada, right? Taxes are really high compared to US. US you pay like 5% tax on like purchases. Yep. Here you pay 13. And I'm thinking, where is this 13% going? Because our school systems are taking cutbacks like up the ass, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not talking about the teacher pay. I'm talking about the actual school itself. Like the school I went to growing up, I saw it not so long. It looks like a dump now.
Which one? Okay.
Like my elementary school was a great looking school on the outside, but they cut the funding and now you can see the dirt on the fucking on the building itself because it doesn't get cleaned, right? Mm-hmm. Stuff like that. And then like everyone knows like the whole the hospital crisis that we have, where there's not enough nurses because they're not paying anybody, they're not building new hospitals for the most part. Like where's the money going?
The thing is, bro, and I hate to say it, but the parliament or the White House or whatever, it's a business, bro. You need someone who is very good at business to understand what costs are, what you're spending it on, and how to get what you want done the most effective way possible. Right? Like, I understand, you don't want to offend the liberals or you want to please this people or stuff like that. Bro, if I'm fucking giving you money, make sure that what you say is going to happen happens.
It's going to happen.
Right? And it's the same in business, bro. People will fucking say, we're going to do this and we're going to do that and we're going to make all this money and sell it everywhere. And then they don't fucking do it. And then the ones that maybe they don't say that, but they just, they put their nose down and they do what they say they're going to do.
If they do the majority of what they say they're going to do, then I'm fine.
Yeah, it's the ones that succeed.
Yeah, because the thing is, no matter what, like what you say could be done versus what you realize could not. Like that. Like I get that.
Unbelievable.
Like you say that you want to do something and that's fine, but there might be more obstacles than you anticipated, whatever.
That's politics, bro.
But if you do the small things, like I remember the moment that our provincial government got elected, not this time, like the first time around, the first thing he promised was he's getting rid of a tax for gas. And the moment he got elected, gas went down like 20 cents, right? When it was at like $1.40, went down to $1.20, right?
Okay.
So like he said he was going to do something, he did it. And you saw it happen, right?
Right.
I'm not saying that he's perfect or he does everything right or whatever, because he doesn't. But he made a promise, he did it. Like people talk about Obama, right? How good he was, and I think he was pretty okay, pretty solid. But he talked about closing Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah.
Shit never closed down. You know what I mean?
That's the thing, bro. It's politics. They could promise whatever they want. It doesn't mean they're going to do it, or
no, there's no accountability.
Or that's like their top priority. No,
there's no accountability in this system. Like I wish there was a law where like whatever you say that you do has to be done.
Yeah,
to some degree,
or at least like try your best and be open about what you're trying to do, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
The thing is, bro, the parliament, all the parliaments and stuff, they run the same as they did 100 years ago, bro. And it's like the world has changed, you know. And social media is a great example, or just like in general that you can see everything that they're saying and doing publicly, right?
Yeah.
So you can't fucking run it the same as you did 100 years ago, because 100 years ago you could promise and say that you're going to do this and that. It doesn't mean that everybody's going to like fucking drill you on that.
Yeah.
Right?
So I think the best way to kind of like to finish it off in a sense was when I was in, I want to say grade 10, doing like civics and careers or some shit. Me and two other students, we were asked to leave the class for a second because the teacher wanted to talk to us. Because we were doing a project, right? And the project was you do like you're given 10 rules and you're in a big, like it's a third. You're in a third of the class. Like it's 3 groups in the class, right? Each of them is a third of the class. So 10 students, let's say. And when we went outside, it's like, okay, for the 10 rules that I'm going to give you guys, I want this person, I want his group to be fully like everyone gets to have a say in what gets done, and then I want this group with this person to be some people get a say, but time runs out, so you have to make a decision. And then my group was I tell them exactly what to do, right? It's different. It's like one is like I was pretty much Kim Jong-un. One was communist and one was democracy. And then we did the rules and it came up. And I think my teacher kind of roasted me because I'll tell you why in a sec. But the group that was democracy, they got like 8 out of 10 correct answers. But the 2 answers that they didn't get was because they didn't have enough time to talk about it. Okay. The other group got like 5 out of 10, right? But they were a little faster. And they got everything done. They just were 50-50. Me, I told everyone what to do. We got like 1 thing right. And I think the teacher was kind of roasting me, calling me an idiot for that. But that's the whole thing where like we're in a democracy where it is probably the best system, but stuff doesn't get done in time. Right. Right? And then if you want to be a fucking monarchy or a dictatorship, shit gets done quickly. Right. Whether it's good or not is up to fucking public perspective at that point.
Well, dictatorship is nobody agrees that that's a good thing.
No. I mean, if it's a bad dictator, yes. We never had a good dictator in a sense. Yeah. We never had Borat, the dictator. Right. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just super scared for the fucking future because I know we talked about it a few weeks ago where, like, my money situation is weird, but like the money is so tight now for everybody, right? And I'm thankful because I took your advice actually. I decided to get a serving job, right? And I got
You're welcome for that advice, by the way.
Yeah. So I got a serving job almost instantly, by the way, which kind of pissed me off because, like, in my opinion, it wasn't even that good of an interview. They just gave me the job. And it's a great place. I'll explain.
Well, the thing is, you are experienced in that field, right?
I'm not even majorly experienced though. I have a year and a bit of experience total.
Serving. What do you mean?
I've been in the restaurant industry for about 5 years, but only about a year and a half or so was serving.
Okay.
Right. So I took your advice, and what I did was I'm only working the weekends, right? And on the weekdays, I go back to just doing the applications, whatever. But I'm also doing a little bit of help in my family company just because some shit happened.
Yeah, you're getting back on track.
That's what matters. So this place that I got hired at, my friend referred me to it, which was fucking great of her. What's it called? I don't think we talked about her, but she served at another restaurant. And me and you went there and we said what's up or whatever, and her sister was serving us and she came up to us and I made a really funny joke and she slapped me in the face because she got upset because it was targeted towards her, right? But she's the homie, like she apologized after she knew she was in the wrong. But whatever, she got me a job, and this place, I swear to God, downtown.
Nice.
Like Union Station, literally like right there, right? And from what I've heard, the tips are fire.
Nice.
Right? Like when I went there to work, she was there for like 2 hours serving.
Is it like a higher class place or?
It's very hipster chic.
Okay, but it's busy.
Yeah, it's besides like the Raptors arena and stuff. So
Nice.
people go there to pregame and stuff. You know what I mean?
Nice.
And the food obviously is gonna be expensive because it's downtown. But it's like a weird. It's not really a theme. Like you got some Italian, you got some fucking burgers. You know what I mean? You got everything.
It's like an everything place, right? Like they just want as many people to come in as possible.
Yeah. But it's also a really nice looking place. It's
Right.
like it's perfectly on the intersection, right, where there's a bunch of traffic, so people always see it, and it's actually part of the same head corporation that I got my first serving job at. But
Okay.
it's like that was the worst place that they had. This is the nicest place they had, right?
Okay, got it.
So I'm excited to work there because from what I heard, right. So when it comes to serving, women get tipped more than men,
Right.
right? Because men are usually the one paying. You see a good-looking girl, you want to tip her more. You want for some reason of hoping
facts,
that you
bro.
fuck her. You know what I mean?
Facts.
It just is, right? So she told me that some girls will do a Saturday night only, come out with $600 in tips.
Jeez. Nice.
So I'm saying because I'm gonna be there closing because they needed like weekend closers. So she told me that like if I do that, they'll suck my dick pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that. If I can come out with 3 bills, right?
It's fantastic.
I'm chilling for a few hours because the place closes at midnight. I can take the transit home, like literally just one fucking train, the GO train. Like I'll be chilling, right? So that's cool. Not to mention I'll be working downtown. So if I do get a marketing job downtown, hopefully, then I can even work some weekday nights, like just go from one to the other, as long as they're cool with it. But yeah, I'm gonna work Saturdays and Sundays, chill, watch some basketball games.
Right.
You know what I mean? Hopefully when Christmas comes around, they're gonna trust me enough that I'll be working a lot and I'll be getting those parties.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like I don't know if you ever worked in a restaurant during Christmas, but like if you had a nice place, the Christmas parties are balling.
Nice.
Like it's fucking people with bare money renting out a whole section of the restaurant, right? It's a set menu too, where like they call them beforehand saying what they want, so you don't even have to take orders. You just bring them the food. You keep getting them alcohol, and the bill out of nowhere is $5,000, $6,000, and you're getting auto gratuity, not like you don't force the tip. Like they know it's auto gratuity, so you're coming out with fucking bare guap.
Nice.
Like I'll tell you what.
Wait, so your place is auto gratuity?
No, only for like big parties and shit.
Oh, okay.
Every restaurant is big party auto gratuities. Like
Okay.
I think you're referring to
Yeah.
the server that we almost got into a fight with, where I didn't agree with my friends for saying can we not just autograph, but I do understand. It's like we're gonna tip you regardless. You know what I mean? Whatever. Right. But there is that, which is fucking cool. But yeah, I'm just excited that like I'll take a train. It'll be 40 minutes to get there, maybe, whatever. And then I go to work and I'm just fucking living life. It's apparently easy as fuck. Where like everyone does your job for you pretty much.
What do you mean?
Like when you're in a nice serving, like if you're in a nice restaurant, you're the
like the bus boys are coming and taking.
There's
the
a million
away.
bus boys. There's a
Nice.
million like barbacks. There's a million hostesses or hosts.
Yeah, so more or less you're taking their order and
checking up on them.
checking up or taking their plates away. Or
Yeah,
something like
like you'll
that.
definitely bring food to the table, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you'll do it like just by being there. Like you'll help other people
Yeah,
out too,
yeah.
or whatever. It's fucking great. The only issue though that I saw was that the tip out is kind of big. The tip out is like 5%.
What's the tip out?
So basically, here, take that.
No, it's okay.
You don't want? Okay, fine. So tip out is basically whatever you sell. Like even if you don't get tipped, right? Whatever you sell, whatever that percentage of your tip out is. So say 5%. So let's say I sell $1,000 in a day. That means that I have to give $50 back to the restaurant so that they can give extra pay to
I see.
the barbacks, the bartenders, and the kitchen for the most part. So some places have it differently where you have a percentage that goes to bar, a percentage that goes to barbacks, a percentage that goes to kitchen, or it's all bundled up in one or shit like that, right? So the place that I used to work at, the sports bar, it had the best tip out I've ever seen in my life. It was literally 1% of drinks to bar and 1.5% to barbacks. Nothing to the kitchen because the kitchen got paid a higher wage. Right? So if I sold, say, $1,000, but only $100 were in drinks, I gave I legitimately gave like $1 to the fucking bar
Okay.
for making my drinks. Like, here you go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I gave like $20 to the bus boys, and I'd always give them a bit extra because then they would always clean up my tables.
Right.
Like the serving.
Smart move, right?
Oh, dude, it happened because when I was a barback, people would come up to me and be like, "Hey, I want to leave, but I have tables that already built out that want to stay here. Do you mind just cleaning? Here's $20. Do you mind just cleaning them up for me?
Mm-hmm.
No worries." So I started doing that. No, and wherever I worked, no one else did that. So they were so thankful. I'm like, dude, don't worry about it. Just if you see one of my tables, just wipe it down. Let me know you did, and I'll even give you some more cash, right?
Right.
So yeah. So what's it
Bro,
called?
You're growing your presence.
I'm networking, bro.
Yeah.
No, but think about it. If I made $200 in tips, what's an extra $10 to the guy?
Exactly.
Right. Like,
and plus, it makes your life so much easier.
Not even that. Like
they're coming, they're cleaning your tables well.
Yeah, but also if you think about it, barbacks are like they're usually kids, right? They're getting paid minimum wage, so that extra $20 means a lot to them, or that extra $10 means a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a nice thing to do. That's all it is.
I agree with you there, and yeah, I think it's a good thing that you did weekends because it seems to be the busiest times, or even like Friday. I don't know.
It's kind of like what's it called? What you do in 2 nights on a weekend, you would do 4 days on a weekday, in a sense.
Yeah, so I think it's a good thing to do. A nice location. You should make some extra money on the side and stuff like that.
I legitimately think, from what I've been told, that if I work 3 full nights there a week, I'll get paid more than my salary of whatever marketing job I got.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, happy for you. Good shit.
You already know, man's moving up in the world.
Now, if I want to like transition a little bit here, so I went to the dentist. Now, I haven't been to the dentist in time, bro. Like when they asked me, when was the last time you went to the dentist? I was like, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Right. So I went, obviously I'm a little bit nervous because I don't know what the hell they're going to find there. Right.
Yeah.
So I go in, whatever. So they put me in the chair, they're talking to me, whatever. They bring me down, right? Like they bring the chair down. So I'm like nervous, right?
Why?
I don't know, because maybe they're going to say like, oh, you have like 10 cavities and we have to take out 5 teeth. Oh. Like that's worst case scenario.
I'll tell you something after.
But anyways, so I'm nervous, right? They lowered me down in the chair, and I don't realize, like when I walked in, obviously, that there's a TV on the ceiling, right? Like I only realized when they brought me down, right? So I'm like, okay. She gives me the remote. It's Netflix.
Yo, just imagine the TV just falls on you. Yeah.
So it's Netflix, right? They have Netflix on the TV.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, this is a big decision here. Because I'm nervous, right? And like I saw that the last person, he was watching Spider-Man, right?
Which Spider-Man?
Spider-Man 2.
Tobey Maguire?
No. With
Andrew Garfield?
Andrew Garfield and Jamie Foxx. Whatever.
Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why I asked that question. Just go ahead.
I didn't think it was a good choice, right? Because I thought about it like this. The dentist is going to be like in your face, like you're not really watching TV when you're at the dentist, right? And it's also like she was like blocking the TV half the time, right? So I'm like, okay, what's like the best thing that I can choose here, right? So I'm looking, right? I'm looking around, seeing what I can choose. And then I come across Our Planet, right? I'm like, this is the perfect choice.
The animal documentary?
Right? Exactly, because, she was blocking the TV half the time, but I had animal noises in the background, fucking sounds of the rainforest. I got, like, the birds chirping and stuff like that. Brilliant choice, and I'm going to recommend that if you haven't been to the dentist in a long time. Our Planet on the fucking TV. Anyways.
Just fucking get to it already.
Yeah, so whatever. She cleans my teeth. And surprisingly, like I thought it would be much worse. She was like, "Yeah, you have one tiny little cavity. That's it."
Do you brush twice a day?
I brush twice a day.
Fine.
I use a water pick. Now,
Yeah.
If you don't use a water pick, I highly recommend that you start using a water pick just for this fact. It's a fact. I'll go and I'll eat my breakfast and I'll come downstairs and I'll brush my teeth after. If you brush your teeth before breakfast, what are you doing?
There's literally no, you're not doing
right?
There's no point. You start
Exactly.
eating right there, yeah.
So whatever, I'll brush my teeth. Then I'll take the water pick and the water pick is basically just like a high pressure, like
I've used it before,
water thing. I'll clean out after I brush my teeth and there's just crumbs everywhere that fall out. Right. And I'm like, when I didn't use this, I was like, why was I not using this kind of thing? Because if you don't, you just brush your teeth, you fucking leave, you still have all that fucking crusty shit in your mouth. So yeah, they said, you know, you have healthy looking teeth, stuff like that. My gums were good because the water pick's also good for your gums. I should floss a little bit more, but they said healthy looking teeth, come back in like a month, we'll fill the little cavity, and that's it.
Okay, so I gotta tell you this because this actually just happened. Yes, you kind of reminded me. So my dad, right, is when it comes to sleeping, does the wildest shit.
Okay.
Like I've legitimately went to my bed at like 2 a.m, and out of nowhere I just heard screaming.
Okay.
Because ever since my dad was a kid, he would have like dreams, or not even nightmares, just fucking dreams. But he'd act them out. Like I think I've seen him sleepwalk before.
Okay.
Right. But like I would literally see him screaming, "Wah!" Like, and I'd run to his room, and my mom would be awake. He's like, "Yeah, he's just sleeping." I'm like, "Okay, fine, whatever." This was like a week or 2 ago. My dad, I think, was having a nightmare. He bit down on his teeth, but like he fucking chomped on it so hard that he chipped the tooth.
Jeez.
Like my dad's a set. Like not just like half the fucking teeth, just boom.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, right?
The tooth, right? Just
yeah,
one?
like half the tooth just fucking broke. Right. I don't think he found it. I think he swallowed it by accident.
Okay.
Right? Fucking gross. So he went to go get it fixed out like a day or 2 ago, whatever. But that reminds me, because my dad, he has stories of like waking up and just like, what the fuck happened? And people have to tell him, right? So once again, this happened like even before he was an adult. Just like he was a kid, he just always had it. He always tried things like sleep apnea machines or whatever the fuck. It just never worked, right? My dad's a fucking animal when he goes into bed. Wait. Pause. Holy shit. Wait a second.
Pause. Okay. Anyways.
So, my dad, right? So I told you he lived in Israel. My mom went on vacation to Israel, met him. She flew back, and then she was there for like 3-4 months. They were dating for 3-4 months. Then he came to Canada, different world, like whatever, right? So he came to live with my mom and her parents, right? And he warned her, like before they even started dating, he warned her that when he's in bed, he's fucking like he just does crazy shit, right?
Pause again.
Fuck you. Okay. Okay, whatever. So, like I told you, like he would scream, whatever. So there was one night that they're sleeping, right? And he's like having a fucking episode, right? I swear to God, he punched my mom in the eye.
Jeez.
Gave her a black eye.
Damn.
Like he straight up. Imagine he's lying down, right? And he's like fucking shaking. My mom's trying to wake him up because she's not used to it yet. And just boom, right? Just one good one. And he wakes up on impact, by the way, right? But again, before I was born, this was like in the early 90s, whatever. And he's living with my mom's parents. So he goes back to bed after apologizing, I guess. Or maybe he didn't fucking wake up at all. I don't know. So after that, she obviously cannot go back to bed.
Right.
She wakes up, goes downstairs, starts making herself a coffee. But she's wearing glasses inside now because my grandparents are awake.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandmother's like, what was all that noise? Like in Hebrew, right? She had broken ass English. She's like, what's all the noise? Like, everything okay? And then she sees the glasses. She's like, take the fucking glasses off right the fuck now. Right? Mom takes it off. Her eye is like, is black. Right? My dad's was a strong guy too, with a big fucking hand. So it was a proper, like, it was flush. Like, it was a proper Francis Ngannou fucking punch. You know what I mean? So my grandmother goes up to the fucking bedroom, doesn't hear a word from my mom, by the way. Like my mom's trying to explain it, and she's like, shut the fuck up. Yeah. Because she thought my mom got beat, right? Goes upstairs, wakes my fucking dad up, kicks him out of the house, and is like fucking hitting him like with the fucking slipper, right? Like just doing everything. And then they had to explain to her that he just has fucking like pretty much night terrors. Yeah. Right? And then they go about their day. But like my grandmother's just staring at him, and then
he can't recover from that.
Just like all I could imagine after was that God, I almost had to do another pause. Fuck. How do I feel like he would have to sleep in a straight jacket. I almost said restraints, but then I was like, pause again.
Yeah. And some chains.
But yeah, here's another little story. So we go to Florida, right? My family, and I'm the only person in my family who doesn't snore.
Okay.
The only thing that I do is if I'm super tired, I'll sleep with my eye open.
Mm-hmm.
Which whenever I have a girlfriend, I feel bad for her because she's gonna fucking wake up one day earlier than me, and I'm just gonna be,
Right.
you know what I mean? I'll be doing the Dwayne Johnson pretty much, right? Whatever. But they all snore. My dad is like a fucking Tyrannosaurus Rex when he snores, just fucking right? My brother, like, he has the most high pitched snoring. It's like whistles.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And my mom just alters back and forth. I have, swear to God, we're all in the same room, 2 beds. Like, it's like we were there for one night before a cruise, and I fall asleep after everyone else.
Oh, it's the worst.
It's continuous snoring because like my dad stops snoring, my mom starts. Like it's in waves, right?
And
like,
you're so you're so mad.
I'm zoned in.
Yeah,
by the way,
yeah.
I'm like, do I just scream really loudly, fake that I'm sleeping? That way they all wake up, stop snoring, and I can try to fall asleep before they go back to bed.
Yeah.
Like I'm fucked, right?
Oh, it's the worst, bro.
I have a video. I swear to God, I have a video on Snapchat, but I deleted Snapchat, where it's just one continuous snore, just back. Like it'll be 2 people at one time, no matter what. And I'm just so fucking mad. I'm just the video's on my face. I'm just fucking angry, cause these fucking assholes.
Yeah, and like you'll try to like hit the bed or something like that to like make some noise. It just doesn't work.
I've literally punched the bed frame.
Yeah.
Trying to wake him up.
I did that too. Like when my dad snore. Now he uses like that machine, so it's
The sleep apnea machine.
Yeah, so I think that stops snoring. But
Nothing can control my dad.
but yeah.
Pause.
I know what you mean though, where it's like, it's just the worst, bro. It's like when you're on vacation, you're like, I remember there was one vacation that we went on, and it was like, I was like, this is the last time we ever share a room together.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, it's just so annoying, and you can't do anything about it.
Dude, the beautiful thing. So like my family, we love our cruise ships, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're so used to cruise ships and how it works that we can like finesse the system where like me and my brother get our own room and my parents get their own room, right? And it's like for whatever reason, my brother, his snoring by himself is only when he's in deep sleep, and like he's been asleep for like hours, like at least 5 hours. So I'm good in that sense. But I swear to God, I can like, let's say we're sharing the same wall, and he's on the other side. I can still hear my dad snoring.
Jeez, that's crazy.
He's a fucking gorilla.
Yeah.
God damn.
And your mom can just deal with him.
My mom is lucky enough that she needs noise to sleep.
True.
Like she has the TV on at all times.
See,
same with me.
When we shared a room back in Punta Cana, the sleeping was just like, it was so nice, bro. We both don't snore.
No, to be fair though, you wanted to fucking kill me because I wanted the TV on.
That's a different story.
Hold up. But almost every night you had the converter and you just fell asleep with the TV on. And I'm like, you're getting mad at me for asking for it, but then you always have the TV on.
So here's the thing. If when I'm not drinking, I'm a very light sleeper where it's like doesn't matter like if there's like just a tiny bit of noise, like my mom likes to watch TV upstairs and I'm like
2 floors up.
Yeah, no, not 2 floors. This is if she's on like the 2nd floor.
Okay.
I'm like too loud, turn it off, go upstairs. Right? But when I'm drunk, 180, bro. I'm falling asleep fully clothed with the lights on, TV on, bro. It doesn't matter, bro. Yeah. I'm out. So I didn't like think of that. So then when you were like, can I have the TV on? I thought like, oh, I'm just a light sleeper, so no. But we drank like every night, so it didn't matter.
The thing was, we got to a full on, because that was the same day that you snapped at the waiters and stuff. So we were having a full on conversation. I'm like, yo, this is about to be the end of the friendship right here. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm gonna tell this guy to go fuck off because I'm having Family Guy blasted before I go to bed.
But that was a good time.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was a good time.
Now you know, dude. So that same day that the fucking waitress was a bitch, so we went clubbing, right? And my buddy got crossed like a motherfucker.
What does that mean?
High and drunk.
Oh, okay.
What's the other term for it? I know what I know the term. I just
whatever.
Whatever. He got crisscrossed, right? So he said, "Yo, let's link up, watch the game, whatever." So we're like, "Okay, we're gonna go to your house." He's like, "Yeah, reach at my house, whatever." So I pick up my buddy. We go to his house. I keep calling him. He's not answering the phone. I'm like, "What the fuck's going on?" Right? So we just knock on the door. His dad opens it up, and we say, "What's up?" He's like, "Ghost is sleeping." God damn it. My buddy's sleeping, right? And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So we go downstairs. This guy was so crossed. Not only was he fully clothed in bed, but he was like sleeping. Here, hold the mic. He was legitimately sleeping like this. Imagine the covers are just right here. He's under the covers.
Like he's dying.
Yeah, like he's dead. Like he's fucking dead. Like he's fucking dead. Right? And like we're trying to wake him up peacefully. Not a single movement.
No.
I had to check like where his stomach was to see if he was breathing. Right?
Yeah.
He actually looked like he was dead. We got on a phone call with our buddy saying that he's asleep, having a full length conversation in front of him. Not a single movement.
Nah, bro, I get it, man. Like, I get it. There's 2 instances where that happened to me that I can remember, at least.
You can't remember the rest of them?
Or that somebody told me. The first one was, it was in first year university. I was so drunk, and my roommate was, like, asking me questions. And I was, like, so drunk that I was just going, like, right, to every question.
Of course.
Right? So then, like, his last question was, he was like, no, if you're retarded, say, And then I just said,
He got your ass.
So that was one. And then the other time, I was, like, super drunk. And then this was on video, right? Where I was so drunk, went to my room in university also. Went to my room, just, like, KO'd. And then somebody came and literally put me in a rear naked choke. Put me in a rear naked choke. It's on video. I'm in a rear naked choke, and I'm just like chilling, right? And then I just like wake up the next day, and they're like, "Do you know what happened?" I was like, "No," and they show me the video, and the guy's like doing jujitsu on me.
So I get it. Combo?
I get it. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. No, dude, I don't know. Like, because when I like, here's the thing, right? Everyone has their weird sleeping habits, but like, there's some funny ones, man. Like me, like if I'm like on an airplane, let's say, and I'm sleeping like just fucking bodied up like this, you will literally, my eye will be fucking wide open, like just this eye too, right? And this eye will be like half shut but still open. Like my brother, his mouth will be just
Yeah.
Like I have pictures of him, right? We're taking a long, like we're going to like Niagara Falls, let's say, so it's like a 2-hour drive, right? And he falls asleep, but like he's tilted back, right? And you just see like his mouth just.
Yeah.
Like it reminds me, because you're a dick for this, by the way, but you know exactly what I'm about to say.
Yes. I will say it was a dick move, but we were young.
It was so funny though, thinking about it. I wanted to punch you guys though, but we're going to Israel, right? Me, you, and like a couple other people, right? And we stop in New York first to meet up with the whole group. And me and this other guy, we made a pact, like, yo, if we want to sleep really good on the plane so we don't get jet lagged, let's stay up all night, and then what's it called? By the time we're on the plane, we just zone out for 12 hours, for 10 hours, right? And it's going well, right? Like we have to get up like 7 a.m. let's say. He falls asleep at like 3 in the morning. Me, I fall asleep at like 5, right? I have like an hour of sleep, give or take, right? So we're going through the whole process of going to the airport. I'm like, and then you get pulled over for your fucking passport or whatever, and I'm answering questions like half dead, right? Yeah. So we get on the plane, right? And I'm just passed the fuck out, right? But I'm the same as my brother, where my mouth was just fucking wide ass open like a beak. You fucking assholes, right? You guys get your fucking breakfast or whatever, and there's a packet of salt. You open the salt and you just dump it in my mouth, not knowing if I'm gonna choke on it or not, by the way. And I just fucking get up, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? My mouth is all salty. I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like, I need water, right? And I'm looking around. You guys are just dying of laughter on the other side. I'm like, you motherfuckers, right? And then I couldn't fall asleep again, and then I'm literally like 36 hours in with 3 hours of sleep, and I'm fucking the first day when Israel, I'm just zombied.
Yeah.
And you guys are fucking assholes for that. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
If I had 8 hours, I'd be blessed. And then, because I was so fucked up from not sleeping at all, the first like 4 days, any chance I could, I would try to fall asleep, and you guys would just prank me.
Yeah.
Like, this was the biggest dick move I've ever made in my life, right? So it's our.
I think I know which one you're saying.
Yes,
it wasn't my idea.
It was not.
But I filmed it.
Yeah, you filmed it. So it's our second night there, right? And we're on like a religious Jewish trip, and it's Saturday. So Saturday we don't do shit, right? We're just all hanging out. 6 p.m. I'm lights the fuck out, right? But the way that the hotel was made up was that there was 2 beds. So, and then there was like a wall bed, like a bed on the wall, sort of like a pull out, right? So I don't know why, but douchebag, like there was like the 3 other douchebags in the thing forced me to be on the fucking wall. I was like, whatever. So I'm sleeping there like 6 p.m. Right? No one's in the room. I'm fucking light the fuck out, and like I'm sleeping, but I can also like I'm a little cognitive, right?
Right.
And I hear some noise, but it sounds like it's like from the far distance of the hallway, so I don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
These fuckers came in the room with a bottle of water, okay? They were filming it, and then the one guy, his name is Jordan. You don't worry, we can say that. He doesn't live here. He sees a full-on bottle of Coca-Cola.
Like a 2 liter?
A 2 liter.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what? Fuck the water. Just fuck the water, right? And I'm sleeping, and he proceeds not only just to like wake me up with some fucking Coca-Cola, he pours the whole 2 liters, not even on me, just on my blanket, okay?
On the bed?
On the bed. The bed is sticky, okay? And you're filming this, right? And immediately it goes up on Facebook, right? At this point, it's like 9 p.m., right? So in Canada, it's like 2 or 3, right?
If you put it on Facebook.
Yeah, you put it on Facebook. I'm so mad about this to this day, right? And I'm trying to go back to bed, but it's super sticky, right? And I'm like, okay, my roommates fucked up my bed. After I showered, I'm gonna go sleep in one of their beds. They can fucking deal with it, right? Mm-hmm. And then this is where our buddy tells me to go fuck myself. I'm sleeping on the same fucking shitty couch. And he start like I try to pull the blanket out, and he like pushes me. And I'm emotional at that point, right? Because I just had a 2 liter fucking.
Yeah.
I just had a 2 liter on me.
2 liter.
I'm full of sugar. You know what I mean? And I'm like half crying, but like screaming as well. I'm like, you motherfucker! I'm not. I end up sleeping on the fucking couch because it's like 3 to 1, right? And then I get a phone call at like 2 a.m. And I wake up again, and I'm so mad that I keep on getting woken up. And it's my mom. And I'm like, why is she calling? She knows that there's a time difference, right? She calls me screaming, right? And I'm like, is everything okay at home? Everything okay? What's going on? And then she's saying that you posted the video on Facebook, and that you guys made me look like a piece of shit, right? And I was like, everyone's like, you weren't sleeping in that room, by the way, so you don't even know this. But I mean, you found out after. But after my mom calls me, she's like, your friends are pieces of shit. I'm going to take you out of the fucking Israel trip or whatever, all that stuff. And I'm like emotional already, right? So I'm like trying to go back to bed. Everyone's like, are you okay? And I'm like, no, I'm okay. And I'm fucking sobbing in bed. I'm a grown ass 17-year-old crying in Israel because of a 2 liter Coca-Cola, okay? Like, yo, fucked me up.
Nah, it was a dick move.
Oh, it was, but it's so funny thinking about it now.
But then you got me back, and it
wasn't you. Was it you? Oh, it was you. Oh, yeah, because the other guy was being the fucking master puppeteer. He was making sure that everyone else
got pranked.
And except him.
But
and then after we pranked each other, he's like, okay, guys, pranks are over. I'm like, we haven't pranked you yet, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Right? So, like 2 days later, in the same fucking room. Thank God they changed the sheets, by the way. Because I'm sorry, if I had to move in the bed, like you just heard, it was like a dirty shoe on a school floor. You know what I mean? It was just right. So 2 days later, right? I'm still fucked up from all this like non-sleep I got, right? But I'm like, fuck it, we're gonna prank one of the assholes who did this to me. We're gonna fucking go one by one, just fuck them all up, right? So we tell them that. So we have you believe that I'm asleep again.
It's so stupid that I believed it.
I know you're an idiot for this.
Can I say it for my?
No worries, go ahead.
So Jamie got me back, and basically how we did it was the master puppeteer. He told me that we're gonna prank Jamie again, and I was like, let's do it, bro.
Hold up. The same exact prank, by the way.
No, not the same. We were gonna pour coffee in your mouth this time.
Are you trying to kill me?
Coffee beans.
I thought it was whipped cream.
No, that was you.
Okay, yeah, I got it. But coffee? Are you trying to fucking kill me?
So we wanted to put coffee beans in your mouth this time. So we go in, right? And we're like filming this, obviously. So I like go in. Jamie's sleeping with sunglasses on. He's sleeping with sunglasses, bro, like pitch black sunglasses. So I'm like, look, and I'm like, bro, there's no way he's sleeping, right? And then they're all like, no, bro, he's sleeping like that. So I was like, oh, okay, like, sure. So like go up, and then Jamie had the.
I had a whole like fucking handful of whipped cream.
Yeah, he had whipped cream in his back and fucking came in and slapped me.
I smacked the shit out of you too.
Yeah. So I didn't care about the slap. I was like, I didn't know what the substance was. All right, it was just like some white shit on my face, and I was like, what is this? But
it was my children.
All good. I knew I deserved it too, and then
we stopped pranking right there because it was getting out of hand.
Yeah.
But
that was a good time.
I was so mad that we didn't prank the master puppeteer on that.
Yeah,
because that was kind of deserved. Yeah, now that I think about it, bro, growing up, he fucked us up there, eh?
Yeah,
he outsmarted the fuck out of us.
Mm-hmm.
Fair, not that hard, but still. I mean, that shit was so funny.
I have one more thing, which is kind of funny.
Let's do it.
So talking to this girl, whatever.
Oh my god, all your stories either. Hold up. All of your stories either start off with "I'm talking to this girl" or "So at work today."
No. So we're on FaceTime. It's the same girl. Like I've been talking to her for a little bit.
Hold up. What's it called? Are you like seeing her?
No, it's only been like a few weeks or a month. I don't know. Anyways.
Consistent though or not?
Like once a week, I would say. Anyways, so she's like showing me her hockey jerseys. It's the same one that's like obsessed with the Leafs. She's showing me her hockey jerseys, which she has like 17 of, by the way, like some ridiculous amount of hockey jerseys. All right. So she's showing me. She has some cool ones. She has like one from the Winter Classic and like some Team Canada ones.
Oh, so it's not just all the same.
Right. Yeah. Then she shows me this one. She pulls it out. It's a Team Canada jersey. And she goes, yeah, it's signed by all the players from Team Canada. And I'm thinking in my head, what the fuck?
Wait, what Team Canada are we talking about? Like World Juniors or?
Yeah, so I'll explain. So I'm thinking in my head, it's like Sidney Crosby and like that whole team, the Golden Goal team.
Oh, the Golden Goal team. Gotcha.
So that's so sick, right?
That's fucking dope.
Right? So I'm like, what? It's so sick. Like Sidney Crosby signed that? And she goes, no. It's the women's team. Immediately, I'm like, oh, it's not.
Throw it in the trash.
I was like, okay. Which goes to show you, bro. It's cool, you know? Like, it's a cool thing that all the women's players signed it or whatever. But did I think it was nearly as cool as what I thought it was? No. And she got offended by that, too.
See, I would have been happier if it was the World Junior team.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Because they're the future, right?
Right. But, yeah, she got mad at me because I told her that afterwards. When she was showing me her jerseys, I was like, oh, like, that's cool. Right?
Fucking dope. I mean, it is fucking dope.
Yeah, but not nearly as cool.
So basically what you're saying is that I should be happier that I have 2 signatures from Austin Matthews and Zach Hyman on a jersey than that whole thing.
I'll say an assigned Austin Matthews jersey all day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all day. Even though that Team Canada won the gold medal.
Do you know any players on that team?
I couldn't name a single player.
That's not even a diss. We just don't know.
Yeah. I think I watched it. It was like in high school or something. I don't know. Anyways.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's called. I don't know. Hopefully today, our opinion changes a little bit because of the UFC event. Because there's only 3. Like, there's legitimately only 3 good fights because 2.
Who's fighting?
This is the light heavyweight title. This is Glover Teixeira and Yuri Prochazka.
Nice.
But, excuse me, you have Valentina Shevchenko fighting anybody. Her name's Talia Santos.
When is this?
Tonight.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you also have the rematch of Joanna Jędrzejczyk versus Zhang Weili. Or
Nice.
Weili Zhang. Right? Those are the only 3 good fights. The other 2 good fights got canceled for various reasons. One guy had to cancel, I think it was today, because he got hospitalized from the weight cut because he's a flyweight.
Jeez.
And there was just something going wrong. And then the other one was a really early injury in the camp, so we knew about for months. Right.
I just want to touch on this. It's not about the UFC, but it's about the NBA.
Yeah.
Steph Curry, bro. I'm going to say this right now. If he wins this championship, he's better than Magic Johnson, bro. He's the best point guard.
I think he already is.
I think it's neck and neck right there.
Well,
you can make an argument for either one.
But here's the thing. You're right, neck and neck. But here's the thing. Somebody was great because they were genetically gifted as fuck.
Yeah.
6'10". He played center when who was it? Not Kareem?
Yeah, I don't know, but I know he played center in the finals.
I forgot this. I think it was Kareem who was his center. He got injured and Magic played center for that team for a while, right? Steph Curry is the best, like tangibles, not the intangibles, the tangibles, he is top 5 all time.
I think from an offensive perspective,
Demon.
by far the best point guard who's ever played. By far. I like, who can you name that's a better?
The only runner-ups, I would say, would be CP3. Would be...
Offensively?
No. I'm saying just point guard
skilled,
right? Would be CP3, maybe Damian Lillard. And then if you go back in the day where point guards weren't as athletic, talking John Stockton and a couple others here and there.
Yeah.
Steve Nash.
The thing is, like, last game, game 4, oh my God, bro.
Oh,
they literally gave him the ball. The Celtics were triple teaming him as soon as he passed half court, and he was still cooking them.
Dude, here's the thing with this finals, right? And I want Boston to win. I think I know that Golden State will win.
I want Golden State to win, but I think Boston will win.
Okay. Here's my thing, right? Steph Curry, once again, one of the greatest shooters of all time. But when you look at game 3, when you look at even game 1, right, you start to realize that this whole thing of only shooting threes can only go so far, right? Don't forget, this team has legitimately the 2 best 3-point shooters of all time.
Well, Klay took a step back, but
he's still an amazing shooter,
right?
And Jordan Poole came up and is shooting amazing, right? So but all-time greats, 2 of the 3 best shooters of all time, if you want to include Ray Allen, right?
Right.
If Steph's not on that team and another just good 3-point shooter is on that team, they don't go anywhere as far because Steph is automatic and he rarely goes on droughts.
The only reason they're in the finals is because of Steph Curry.
Yes. But what I'm saying is, like, if you look at game 1, they were up by like 15 going into the 4th, and they couldn't score in the last 6 minutes because they just kept taking threes, right? I have a really big issue with that because I'm a very fundamental, like when I play sports, I'm very fundamental, right? I'm defense first, right? I loved, like, my favorite offensive tool is passing, right? Like stuff like that. I don't like one-on-one bullshit, whatever, right? But this team is so good skill-wise, but they're not good, like, in a 5v5 situation in a sense.
Well, the thing is, you play to, like, what you have, right? Like, Steph Curry is getting triple team from as soon as he passed half court. The space around, like, their offense is a lot more than if Steph wasn't there.
Yes, you're right.
So you got to play to that. But at the same time, Golden State is, I personally think, they're just an okay team, and then they have Steph Curry.
You could make that argument because you've seen that before, right? With like the LeBron Cavaliers that went to the finals the first time, where
he's literally playing on LeBron level.
Yeah, you doesn't have the rebounds, the assists, and all that kind of stuff and the defense.
But in really terms of carrying a team,
yes. But like I'm thinking about like LeBron on that first Cleveland team when the second best player was fucking Zydrunas Ilgauskas.
Okay, that was like way back.
Not the Kyrie Irving team.
Yeah,
No. But yeah, like, and that team went to the finals. I think they got fucking swept or 5-game whatever. But LeBron took him to fucking the finals as like a mid 20-year-old player, and their second best player, I swear to God, was no more than a Steven Adams, right? It's that whole thing. But like, let's go through, like, if you want to go through the team, like, I personally think the most overrated player of all time in the history of the NBA, Draymond Green.
Oh, it's a hot take.
It shouldn't be, though, in my opinion. And I'll tell you why. They lose game 3. He has like 2 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds or something like that.
Yeah, and fouls out.
Right? He has more fouls in this series than he has points. Right? He has, I think, 17 fouls to 15 points. Right? And everyone praises him for defense. I get that. Right? Any other team that doesn't have Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant at one point, and like all these great shooters, like Wiggins is a good shooter, right? Poole's great. It's a pool party. Like, he doesn't get those assists, right? He becomes like around a 10-10 guy with good defense, right? Which, don't get me wrong, he's gonna be a starter or even a good piece off the bench on any team.
Well, the thing is, he's a great defender.
Yeah, I'm not denying that.
Can't deny that. He's definitely not as good as he was before. But I remember when they were facing LeBron in the finals, like a few years back without KD. At one game in the Game 7 finals, he had like 39, 10, and 9. Or some crazy thing like that. Right? So he was that guy at one point. Not the guy, right? Because Steph Curry's still on the team and you had prime Klay Thompson.
Yep.
But he was a very good player.
I think he just got really lucky with the team that he was at. Because I think anyone who knows how to pass goes on that team. You get an assist literally by being the one to take the inbounds and then just hand it off to Curry.
Right, but that's like the reason he's good. Like, if he wasn't drafted by
Golden State,
I would say maybe 1 year, 2 years, he would be an all-star. Maybe in his prime.
But you're saying
right?
maybe, right? Like speaking right now, right? Not even maybe you want to talk careers as well. Who would you think is actually a better player, him or Marcus Smart? Same play style, but different positions.
I would say Draymond Green, bro. He's like a 4-time
I would say
champion.
Marcus Smart
Or a 3-time champion.
What? You mean defensive champion or
Draymond Green? No, NBA champion.
Oh yeah, that's because Marcus Smart hasn't been on a Golden State team.
Right.
Don't forget, this is the best team he's ever been on. But he's a defensive player of the year, which never happens for a guard, right? He can still score, he can still pass. What's it called? Like, he's not the best at it, but you don't overrate him like I think Draymond Green does.
That's the effect of Steph Curry though, where it's like Draymond Green was a good player. Like, you can't deny he's a bad player.
I'm not
right
saying
now.
that.
Maybe he's a bad player.
I'm not saying that,
but
I'm saying overrated.
He was a good player because Steph Curry opened the floor so much for all his teammates, right? So instead of like 5-on-5, let's say, Steph gets doubled as soon as he crosses half court, it's like a 4-on-3.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Well, this is how I'll end it off, right? If you say he is top 15 defenders all time, right? But then you still show me his stat sheet of fucking like averaging 7 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists in his career.
Right.
Why would I put that Hall of Fame? But he's going to be in the Hall of Fame.
3-time champion though.
3-time
defensive player of the year.
I'm sorry. Fucking what's his name? Alfonso McKinney or some shit.
Yeah.
3-time champion. What's your point?
McCoy or something like that.
What?
Some one of those guys.
I think it was Alfonso McKinney.
Yeah.
Because he was on the Raptors when we won, and then the 2 years prior he was on Golden State. Yeah. Right.
But that defensive player of the year shows something.
I'm saying,
and he's a good leader. Like he has intangibles.
Like
He's a
what?
good leader.
I don't even know if he's a good leader.
And he drives. He runs the defense.
Okay. Once again, defense is not a conversation. Like, we know he's a great defender. We know that
half the basketball game is defense.
I know, but I'm saying on any other team, he's not doing anything besides getting some rebounds and defending.
Right.
He's not considered a 90 overall on 2K. He's not a Hall of Fame caliber person, right? And like,
no, I think he's Hall of Fame caliber.
I don't think that, and I feel like I'm just being.
I
feel like I'm just being Skip Bayless.
It's like
right
almost
now.
saying like Rodman isn't Hall of Fame caliber.
But the thing is, Rodman's stats were not inflated.
Yeah, he was a rebound guy.
No, but he was on multiple teams, undersized, getting 15 rebounds a game, right? He played...
But he wasn't a defensive anchor, bro.
He was.
He just grabbed
He was one of the best defensive players.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Like, same caliber of Draymond, if you want to talk about it, right? And he was in a much more aggressive era where he had to defend all the big men, right? Where we know Dennis Rodman is great, but we know that, like, he was the third best player, right? We know that I think it was on the Bad Boy Pistons. I think that's where he came from. Where he was like the defensive guy. He wasn't the offensive guy. We didn't say that he can do so much with the ball, like we're saying with Draymond.
Bro, this puts a different perspective on Golden State, not with KD, versus the 90s Bulls. Because Rodman, I would say, is a better version of Draymond Green.
Thank you.
I'll take Pippen over Clay, and then I'll take Jordan over Curry.
Yeah.
So, but in a 7-game series, bro, and also like Jordan's much bigger than Steph Curry's. Pippen's much bigger than Klay Thompson. I think the Bulls win that series.
Here's the thing, right?
With KD though,
it all comes down to the era, right? Because Klay, in my opinion, Klay could have played in the old era.
Yeah,
he was a very aggressive guy. Draymond, I don't think as much because he is kind of a flopper or whatever. But he could have.
Yeah, he could have done it.
But Steph would have had to be more like John Stockton, right? And that's fine.
Nah,
right?
I mean
But
it's hard to say. Bro.
You put KD on that team, right? It's them 4, and at one point, Boogie Cousins.
Yeah, I mean Boogie's whatever.
No, don't get me wrong. Boogie, you give him.
He's good for like 10 minutes.
I'm sorry, but if you give him even 25 minutes a game, when he's healthy, he should give you like 15 and 8, right? Fair statement.
Yeah, he's just not a
that
longevity guy.
That Warriors team beats that Bulls team in 5 games.
Yeah, the thing is, it's
unless Michael Jordan just fucking shows me why he's better than LeBron.
I don't think anybody would argue that, or I mean they do argue, but
No,
bro, it's like who's gonna guard KD? And if you say like let's say Pippen,
it would have to be Pippen.
Let's say Pippen guards KD, who's guarding Clay?
Jordan? Then who's guarding Steph?
Yeah, I would say like you put Jordan on Steph, and then who's guarding Clay?
Yeah, nobody.
Like it's literally nobody.
Fucking who is it? Ron Hartman or some shit?
Right.
Like,
So you have like one of the best 3-point shooters of all time being guarded by some nobody.
Yeah.
And keep in mind that's when he was in his prime too. So you have a prime Klay Thompson, just basically and prime Klay Thompson, bro, dropped like 63 and 3/4. And on like 9 dribbles.
Literally, like no dribbling at all.
Yeah.
Like that's why when people talk about LeBron's legacy about being fucking, what was it, 4 and 6 in the finals?
Man.
You tell me a team, any team, even argue with me about the Bulls beating that Warriors team, not the one that was just those 3 guys, and then Kyrie and Kevin Love got injured before the end of the first game of the fucking finals, right? Because then it's a whole different conversation.
It is.
Because LeBron came back down 3-1. Right? I mean, Kyrie was a huge part of that. Don't get me wrong. So was Kevin Love. But there's a whole conversation. The only blemish that I really have is that first finals against Dallas.
Yeah.
Or second finals.
Yeah, I mean they lost to San Antonio too, but then I saw this stat.
San Antonio's a dynasty, though.
I saw this stat, bro. So yesterday, Clay, Draymond, and Steph won their 19th finals game. They won 19 finals games so far. You know who else did that? Only one other trio.
San Antonio?
San Antonio.
Are we're talking Manu, Tony, and
Manu,
Duncan?
Tony, and Tim Duncan.
Yeah, Tim Duncan's the best power forward of all time.
Bro, if LeBron's playing them in every finals, like he lost basically to, it's very much comparable. He lost to San Antonio with basically the same version of Clay, Steph, and Draymond, just in a different way, right?
Yeah.
And the Warriors. The only thing is Dallas,
look,
which is fine.
If you're talking top 5 NBA rosters of all time, starting lineup, you have the Bulls. Don't get me wrong. The Bulls with Rodman. You have LeBron's Miami Heat, right? You have the dynasty of fucking of San Antonio. You have the Warriors team of Steph, Clay, and Draymond.
And then you have the Warriors team again.
with KD.
Yeah. Oh
right?
my God. Bro.
Like
and arguably that one with KD is the top one.
Yeah.
But
here's what I'm saying. Michael Jordan in the finals would have to face 2 amazing All-Stars. Like we're talking, say, like Utah Jazz with Stockton and Barkley.
Malone.
Sorry, Malone. Was it Phoenix? Was it Phoenix with Barkley that they faced? Sorry, you're right. Like they had great teams to face. Don't get me wrong, right? They faced the bad boy Pistons. Like they faced really good teams. They faced like Isaiah Thomas, bro, was fucking fire.
It's not comparable though.
But it's not comparable to facing like the fucking Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Serge Ibaka, OKC that they won in 5 or 6. It's not comparable to the fucking Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, Kawhi Leonard, Tim Duncan, and then fucking
Greg Popovich is the coach.
Yeah, and Greg Pop is the fucking coach. I'm thinking of the center, but I forgot who the center was. But whatever. It's not comparable to fucking what's it called? I mean, it is comparable to the fucking Boston Celtics with Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Rajon Rondo, Ray Allen. Like that's got a comparable team to the old teams, 100%. But he's had the hardest roads. Don't get me wrong. Games like only now can you really talk about he's getting older and whatever.
And it's also like LeBron lost to the Golden State teams. I understand that, but at that time, bro, they fucking come down as soon as they pass the half court. They pull up and they hit it too, which is like ridiculous, bro. How do you guard that? I
legitimately think if Steph Curry takes 100 full court shots, I legitimately think he's making at least 20.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Best shooter of all time. And then his partner,
the second best shooter of all time. And then the third guy that came in after is the best scorer of all time.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And then Draymond Green, as much as I'm talking shit, great defender.
Yeah.
Right? And then Andre Iguodala, great defender, great glue guy. Harrison Barnes on some of those teams. Bro, don't fucking talk to me about this fucking 4 and 6 in the finals. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This one guy that we both know. Like, he messages in our group chat yesterday after the Warriors game. Oh, what's it called? Draymond Green had 9 rebounds and 8 assists and 4 steals. And I'm like, yeah, he's a great defender. Mm-hmm. Don't give me those 8 assists like they mean anything. You fucking inbounded the ball and got an assist.
Yeah.
Like, don't give me that shit.
Or it's like you were afraid to shoot and you just like passed it off.
1 for 7 shooting.
Yeah.
Like, he had 2 points. Like,
it wasn't like a playmaking assist.
Like, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't give a like on that team. Fuck his offense, right? Really, just fuck his offense.
Well, you saw that Steve Kerr took him out in like the last minute.
Yeah, like there's no point for him as an offensive player when they have depth. They have the best shooters of all time and all these things. And I really do hope Boston wins because Boston, in my opinion, is just playing better. Very defense. Like, Marcus Smart's very defensive. Jaylen Brown has good defense. Jason Tatum has good defense. Like, Robert Williams was I think the runner up for the defensive player of the year. So they had the 2 fucking guys, right? I love the team the way they're playing, right?
Also, Al Horford, bro.
Oh, fucking.
He's an unbelievable player.
What was it, game 1? He had like 35 points.
No, even last game. Like, I think Al Horford's underrated. Very underrated. I think he's a top center in the league.
Shut the fuck up.
I don't think he's the top center.
You can say top.
Like
10.
I think Jokic, Embiid,
Cat.
Like the top guys. I understand are better than Al Horford. Al Horford's like 1 step below them.
I'm happy to. I would believe in top 10 to top 12 centers in this.
Definitely top 10.
But here's the thing.
I would say like top 7 even.
But here's the thing. Another top center in the league or rising is Robert Williams. Because they're both centers, right?
Robert Williams.
Yeah.
I thought he was like that light-skinned guy.
No, you're thinking of Grant Williams.
Oh.
Same fucking last name. Yeah. You racist bigot. But yeah, like, when people come talk to me about these NBA discussions, I'm like, you got to understand, the NBA is so much better than what it was before, right? And we can talk about the hitting and all that stuff, and I agree, because there needs to be some sort of physicality. There really does. And a lot of that's on the refs, don't get me wrong. But the talent is so much better, which is why I think LeBron is the best player of all time. But it's also why I think that someone like Giannis or Luka or whoever comes up next, when they are the definitive best player in the league, they will be better than LeBron.
It depends though. Like, LeBron went to, well, it was like 11 straight finals.
Some of that, yeah.
So someone has to reach that also. It's not like if they're just the best player in the league at that time, they're better than LeBron was.
I'm saying that if there are the number 1 best player, no discussion about it, then because the talent pool will be so much better in the future that I would be able to fairly say that they're better than LeBron. And at that point, you can't talk about stats too much.
Yeah, but you got to wait like at least like 20 years or so for that to happen.
Here's the thing. Do you think Connor McDavid is better than Wayne Gretzky?
Way better.
But Wayne Gretzky,
way better.
But look at Wayne Gretzky's stats.
The different time, bro. Also, like
exactly.
I don't even know what the fucking goalies were doing back then, bro. You would shoot it from the blue line and they'd be like, oh, fucking dive out of the way, pretty much.
Yeah, they had no fucking protection.
Yeah.
Pause. But like that's the whole thing. Like, Wayne Gretzky had like a season with like 90 goals.
Yeah, it's never gonna happen.
I'm sorry. I'd take Connor McDavid.
But Connor McDavid is almost putting up the same numbers as Gretzky, which is
I wouldn't go that far.
He is. He literally is.
Look, he's having 100-point seasons every fucking year.
He's having like 120-point seasons.
Nah, my whole thing was like on the shortened season last year, 55 games, he had 110 points.
Connor McDavid is like nothing anybody has ever seen before.
Yeah.
But the thing is, in hockey, bro, everybody admits it. And like, why is it like in basketball? It's like, oh no, Jordan is the best, bro.
Do you know what I think it is?
Look at fucking McDavid versus Gretzky. If you just put them like on the same, bro, McDavid would cook him, bro.
Skate circles.
Yeah, skate circles around him, and he would drop like 50 goals a game.
Yeah, 100%. But I think the issue is that, like, if we're talking like Stephen A. and Skip Bayless and those guys, they grew up watching that NBA,
right?
So they were they were emphatic about these guys. They have to put their pride aside. I'm sorry. LeBron's not the best player because he did this, and Jordan won six finals, no losses, right? I'm like, yeah, I get that, but the talent is different.
It is, and also like
it's like talking UFC. Like Khabib, we can admit is the most dominant fighter of all time, most dominant, right? But he hasn't fought the names that we think is like the greatest of all time. He's fought in 3 amazing fighters, 2 good ones, right?
I think Khabib's the best of all time.
Okay, well, I still think it's Anderson Silva or GSP, right? But here's the thing, right? Because it hasn't been that long yet. Now, imagine in 10 years in the UFC, right? When now everyone who's training martial arts is training MMA, not training one background or training another background, and they're just hoping that they're the best background, right? You have people training straight up fucking MMA, and it's just who's the best.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever is the best fighter in the best division, I will definitely say that they're better than Silva, GSP, John Jones, Daniel Cormier, Khabib, Conor McGregor, anybody on someone's top 10 list.
Like, it's hard to say though, because are they physically better than the last guy? Yes, I don't disagree there. But part of being the best ever is how dominant you were in your era, right? Like, if Steph Curry was playing 30 years ago, there was nothing in the game like that would make him shoot all those threes, right? Like, he wouldn't do that if he was born in that era.
You're making an argument for why Jordan would be why Jordan's the best.
So, it is an argument because LeBron versus Jordan one-on-one, I think LeBron wins 10 times out of 10. I think he's just bigger, stronger, can just back him down and lay it out.
I think a 1v1 doesn't determine who's better.
Or even in a team setting, LeBron is studying so much film, which is like a big differentiator, right? Because now they have like breaking everything down, all these plans that evolved over time. I think personally, though, if you put LeBron James in that era of the 70s, he would be better than Jordan.
See, the thing is,
or the 80s,
everyone
the 90s,
talks about his physicality and not standing up. People don't forget that in the early 2000s, it was still just as physical, and he was a monster.
Yeah, you couldn't stop him.
He was bodying like the Boston Celtics' fucking Pierce and Garnett. It's just that his team was dog shit.
Bro, I watched like some clips of like LeBron James when he was younger. This is like even before I
best high school player of all time.
No, not high school. I would say like first like 7 years in the league.
Okay. Oh, so just Cleveland.
The first Cleveland like right. Like I kind of watch basketball then, but not really. Bro, by far the fastest guy on the court. By far the strongest pound for pound, and he was like one of the biggest guys too.
Yeah.
Smartest guy on the court. He wasn't the best shooter. I won't say most athletic by far, and it was like crazy. Like you'll watch highlights, the guy will like get a steal, like on the other team. It was like a clear lane, bro, and you just see like a LeBron like just tracking him, and he still does that to an extent. But when he was younger, it was on a different level.
LeBron has the best defensive play in the history of the NBA.
Yeah.
And that's the Iguodala block. Followed by the best clutch play of all time, which is Kyrie Irving's three.
And take in, when he did that, he was like, what was he, like 33, 34?
He was already getting up there.
Yeah.
Past the normal prime age.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Like,
just a ridiculous specimen of a man.
Like, if I had to say, it, right, I'd say Jordan is the most dominant. Don't get me wrong. The most dominant player of all time. You could even say he was the best scorer of all time. If you want to compare, because it was a different play style, he didn't shoot threes like Kevin Durant does. But my guy, you wanted 40 points, he gave you 40 points. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Now, bring it back to the UFC. Khabib as well, most dominant champion of all time in my opinion. He doesn't have the names for me to say he's the best of all time. I still think it's Anderson Silva. I still think it's GSP. Right? On top of all of that, though, right? Like,
I think we'll wrap it up. We'll wrap it up here.
Yeah, no worries. I'll finish the point real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have. Oh, sorry. No foot shots. My bad. I think you have to kind of understand that there is, like, if they were both neck and neck, right? Like no one can determine who is the better player. You have to go to era.
Right.
Now, if we're saying that Jordan was so dominant, right, that his skill, like, that he was just a million times better than the competition, and LeBron wasn't in his heyday, then you can say Jordan's the best player. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, LeBron, in my opinion, is the second most dominant player of all time, right? And it's just because the talent was just far better. Right. There was more super team. Like, Boston created super teams, right? When they got Ray Allen, fucking Garnett, Pierce, and then Rondo grew into that team, right? That was the first super team. And LeBron had to deal with that, which, no offense, Jordan never had to face more than two amazing players.
Right.
And then a bunch of role players.
I see your point. It's like, even though Jordan was more dominant in his era, even in that era, there was no team equivalent
to his team.
It would basically be like, bro, put Larry Bird on the Celtics, on the Lakers.
Jordan had the first big three of all time, I think.
Yeah. So it would literally be like that. It would be Jordan having to beat the Lakers with Larry Bird on it.
Yeah.
Then it's a different story. I don't think he fucking wins 6.
It's also a different era, so you have to be
whatever the equivalent would be. I just don't think Jordan played the equivalent of the Golden State.
Imagine he had to face the bad boy Pistons, who had like a bunch of like near all-stars defensive guys, and then on top of that,
they have a superstar. Like
you added one more superstar.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to think of like a shooting guard in that day that could like really compare.
And the Pistons beat him a few times, and not in the finals, but
when he was younger, yeah.
Yeah.
But you can't. Everyone's gonna have blemishes like that, right?
Anyways.
But with that being said, give us your opinion, of course, on who you think the best player is, what your favorite segment was, and if you guys have been here up until this point, Noah, give us a word.
Let's go with anus. What, you want me to change it? Nah, I like it.
I kind of wish you said pause instead. Yeah. Funny because that feels like that's what our whole thing was this time around. But with that being said, guys, it has been the Full of BS podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you guys next week with episode 9, which will be recapping everything that I've done. Well, we've done on my birthday, because my birthday will be this Friday, June 17th. Final plug, if you guys are still here. On June 17th from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., we're doing a special drum stream on my Twitch. I'll link that in the description. Hope you guys are there. Let's have some fun. Until then, guys, we'll see you very, very soon. Have a great fucking night. Peace.